Welcome to the M6P versus the MCU. I'm one of your hosts, Jared, along with Darrin, Tim, and Kevin, and we're going to be talking some Hawkeye tonight. But first, we got to know who these guys are. I'm Jared, like I said. That's obvious. I said my name is Jared. But who are these other three men? Go for it, Darrin.
Yeah, I'm Darrin. Help Jared out with the M6P social media, website stuff, and of course the show. And yeah, everybody knows the story already at this point. Okay. Got into talking the X-Men cartoons in junior high, and here we are.
Then who's the guy is that guy in a Superman shirt? What is
that? This is not a Superman shirt because this is a Marvel show, and that would not be appropriate. This is, as you can see, the big BH there. This is actually a fundraiser. My college roommate Brandon Holiday passed away, and a few of our friends from my alma mater at Freed-Hardeman University have set up a scholarship in his name, and this is one of the fundraisers that they're doing in order to raise money for that scholarship. He loves superhero shirts, and we always would stay up and talk about superhero stuff. So this is a way that they're trying to set up a scholarship in his memory. So if anybody's interested, I'll shoot Jared the link and he can put it on there. But yeah, I'm Tim Collins. I've known Jared since elementary school, and I'm also a Marvel nut. I have been for a long time. My mom somehow was able to get me enough elements of a costume to be Wolverine when I was in 2nd grade. And this is before X-Men, the animated series. This is before the X-Men movies. This is before they were big. So props to my mom for doing that. I've got a picture of it somewhere. Yeah. It was lame, but anyway. But yeah, so, always been a Marvel fan, and just love to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Tim. We'll shoot me that link, and we'll put that in the description on the video.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
And last but not least, Mr. McVicker.
I'm Kevin, and I'm just the guy that's read comic books his whole life. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
All right. Well, that was an awesome intro, Kevin. I love that. That was. All right. So we're talking Hawkeye, right?
Yep. All right. I'll go ahead and dive in then, I guess. So yeah, we're 4 episodes deep now. Real quick, overall, I really, really like the show. There might be a few minor issues I have with it, but they're nothing compared to the overall feel that I'm getting. I love Hawkeye's getting his dues. I like the whole tie-in with Kate, and at the beginning of the 1st episode when you see Hawkeye back during the Avengers Battle of New York and seeing it from her perspective, I thought that was kind of cool. How, okay, now we know why she's doing what she's doing. And yeah, but that's my quick overall. Yeah, that's what I like about the whole series. Episode 1, dive right in. Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. That's what sold me. I love Christmas movies. This has that kind of vibe for me, and it ties in a bunch of nostalgia from other classic Christmas movies as well. That kind of gets me pumped. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I loved the 1st episode. I thought it was great. I really liked that the wine cellar fight. It was kind of clunky and awkward at points, and I think that spoke well to Kate Bishop is definitely talented, but she's not quite there yet, and she has a lot to learn. And I liked how they portrayed that as she was capable, but she wasn't a superhero in that fight scene. I thought they did a real good job in that. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like that too. I think Tim and I were talking a little bit about that back and forth, how like it wouldn't look right if Kate was very finessed and just basically Captain America or Black Widow. She needed to be a little clunky. She needed to kind of run. I thought she ran a little weird when she was fighting. So I definitely like that. And I liked the Christmas stuff too. It's very much like has a Home Alone kind of New Yorky feel to it. I think the music, through the series has definitely helped. In episode, my wife and I rewatched episode 4 right before the show, and they play the song from National Lampoon. So I'm thinking Cousin Eddie is on the diving board about to get into the water, but no, it's Hawkeye. I gotta reframe my mind. But I have definitely loved this a lot. I've been very entertained the whole time. I didn't feel like there's many parts that are dragging or slow. It seems like it's one thing to the next, a car chase scene or like the wine fight, stuff with some different Marvel characters that haven't been necessarily introduced yet. We just know their real names, but comic book fans, we know like who they are in the books. And there's a lot of nods to the Fraction Aja book. And it's a lot of fun. I legit have a hard time Tuesday nights going to sleep because I cannot wait to get up and see what's going to happen. And I didn't always feel that way with a lot of the Marvel. Well, with What If, I didn't always feel that, and I didn't always feel that with Loki. But Hawkeye, I just can't. I cannot go to sleep. I'm ready. It's like Christmas morning. It's great.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really interesting is like the Monday before the first 2 episodes launched, I texted Jared and I was just like, dude, I am so pumped about Hawkeye. Are you really pumped about Hawkeye? And he was like, meh. And then after the first 2 episodes, we were talking and he was just like, that was great. There was so much action. There was all this. And I was kind of like, meh. So we were like the exact opposite of what our expectations were going in. I guess I'm going to be kind of the Debbie Downer here on a lot of the little things. I'm the guy that lets the little things bother him, and so that's just how I am. So when it comes to the things like I know you guys said you thought there was a lot of action, there was a lot of fights, there were a lot of things like that. I kind of actually felt like this series was kind of a little front loaded with some filler and some dialogues and some setup stuff. It was a lot of Kate snooping around and and Kate eavesdropping and Kate seeing the monogrammed butterscotches and all that kind of stuff. And then there was also like the stuff with Barton where he was with his family at the show and he was with his family at dinner and they're talking about Christmas and they're doing all that kind of stuff. And they're kind of setting up the fact that he's losing his hearing. They're kind of setting up the fact that he has these feelings about Natasha that being gone, and they're setting up a lot of other things to kind of lead into maybe some trouble later on, which we've already kind of seen. But I felt like there was a lot of that where it was kind of front loaded with that kind of stuff. There were some action sequences, and I took a little bit of issue with Kate being able to go into the wine cellar and beat up a whole bunch of bad guys. I mean, I know it was still kind of a clunky fight and it was still kind of awkward, but to me, a 115-pound college kid that still is probably beyond her capabilities. And that just seemed like it to me anyway. But I mean, overall, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I mean, I'm enjoying the series like everybody. I'm also not as big on the Christmas stuff as all of you guys have been. I feel like some of it is kind of just trying to jam it right in us, like it's Christmas time, and I totally get that. When TSO is playing in the background during the car chase, that's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of feels a little more in your face. And then this latest episode, there was some Christmas stuff that just kind of made me be like, are you kidding me? But I overall, I'm not disliking the series. It's just the little things do kind of like stick with me. And I'm a big fan of Haley Steinfeld, by the way. I've loved her for years. I loved her back in True Grit. I mean, she was 13, and she was phenomenal in that movie. So I've loved her for a long time, and I was really excited by the casting choice. I felt like maybe it wasn't quite what I expected from her. I think I expected someone that was such an overachiever in archery and such an overachiever in martial arts and fencing and all these things that she knows how to do really well. I guess I kind of expected her to be more of an overachiever in life. She's kind of the slacker rich girl, which is kind of an interesting thing. So it's a very interesting direction they're going with it. The series isn't over yet. There's still plenty of things to get to, but yeah, the first episode, that was my overall feel.
That was just the first episode?
Oh, okay. I mean, I got into other things too, but you know.
No, so like I don't think the Christmas stuff is like overplayed, because I mean, the show takes place during Christmas time in New York. They're going to have decorations and stuff. Of course they're tying in the various music and everything, but I don't think overall it's still a Marvel show to me. Does it feel like that I mean, it's still definitely like a Marvel show. The storyline is very similar. I mean, the structure and things, how they make some of their other stuff aside from WandaVision. But I just think that's really interesting. And I agree with you though, Tim, that there isn't a whole lot of action. At this point, we've seen every type of action possible in all the Marvel films. So one of the things I really liked is just how they did expand on characters. I love the dialogue between Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld. I mean, they have great chemistry, I think, on screen as, you know, the sensei and the pupil. And I just like seeing how that relationship keeps going on as the series progresses. Yeah, no. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I forgot. Tim, you brought up a couple points. How could I have forgotten the musical? Like the way that they started it off. That was
I could
just
do this all day.
Okay, that's filler. You're right.
holy cow. Like, and then they released the song later that day. So I was jamming at work. Like
The song is hilarious. I'll give you that. The song is hilarious. The line about getting shawarma when we're done just made me die laughing. I couldn't stop laughing at that.
But even with that performance, like there's so much going on, even though we're laughing about that play and stuff, like the whole like Hawkeye, and then, you know, they mention Ant-Man and not him, and he wasn't even there, and they're just building up to like things that as comic readers and just people even into the MCU, like Hawkeye was always underrated. And like that's when I knew in that first episode, like, okay, they're gonna go with this. And like the cool thing is though, he doesn't really care. I mean, it bugs him, you can tell it bugs him, but ultimately he doesn't really care. He just does his job, and that's why he's a cool character in my opinion.
Yeah, so I was gonna say the musical, and then the intro that they did, it looked like the Fraction Aja comic come to life, in how they kind of traced her from being a kid up to where she is now through the animation and the different stuff that she did. I thought was just brilliant. I loved how it got you up to speed and you were ready to go. And then the other thing I was going to say just jumped out of my head. So when we get back to that, I'll tell you.
So I want to, as the resident Grinch, I want to actually defend Christmas as a plot point in the show a little bit. I like it being in there, and I'm not normally the guy that likes Christmas stuff. It's the ticking bomb for Hawkeye. It's his motivation to actually allow this girl who has, you know, doesn't really deserve to be a superhero at this point in time. You know, maybe she has potential, but she doesn't really need to be it yet. It's his ticking time bomb to maybe for him to be a little more cavalier and a little more lax, because he just wants to get this done and over with and get home to his family, because that's the most important thing to him, really. But he also is a hero, and so he has to protect her, and he has to take care of, you know, his past sins. So I think having it set around Christmas is an interesting, you know, it's that motivation to move the plot along in a hurriedly fashion, instead of him just kind of taking his time and staking things out a little bit more and maybe going to get help from another Avenger. So for me, I think it actually kind of works. Whereas in a lot of things, yeah, it does feel forced in other situations. So I actually kind of like that, but that's just me.
Now, just real quick, Darrin, are we going through this episode by episode, or just kind of all of it?
Yeah, we're just kind of going now. There's 4 episodes. Okay, what's going on?
So
We've already talked about multiple.
So basically, I mean, you know, my biggest gripe about the Christmas stuff would be in the latest episode, where they have the Christmas party / this is how we're going to get the bad guys party. Okay. And I thought that was kind of a little weird. It's like, let's wear Christmas sweaters and drink eggnog, and this is how we're going to get the bad guys. I thought that was just kind of a little weird. And, you know, while they're decorating the tree, he teaches her how to flick the little thingamabobber, and all that is really cool. All right. But it does just kind of feel like it's just like, it's Christmas and you're going to watch it. So I don't know. It just kind of, it felt like it was just a little in your face. And there are a few moments in the series that have been like that. overall, I don't think the series has been that way. All right. I don't think it's been a lot of it. It's just been certain parts that have kind of been in your face with the Christmas stuff. And that latest episode was probably the worst one. So
I will give you that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But back to that point though, like when Kate went over to his house, like the motive wasn't to discuss bad guys at first. It was to discuss, she just felt bad for him and she took the pizza and the movies and stuff. And she was just going over to do something Christmassy. And then they happened to just start discussing the bad guys, right? Is that how that?
She had the dry erase board. I just remember that. And I was just like, okay, but I mean, and I'm not adverse to doing, I love Die Hard. I love the fact that action movies can take place at Christmas time. That's just great. But at times in the series it feels a little forced. That's all.
Yeah, I get it.
I had to remind myself that she was over 21 because I was like, is Disney and Marvel really having an underage girl?
I know. I thought,
oh yeah, no, she's like 23 or 25. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but you know what? All right, here's another forced Christmas thing. Actually, most people may not know this, but I believe the main character in So a Wonderful Life, he was deaf in one ear, in his left ear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm a huge movie nerd, and I've never watched that movie because
but no, he was. It's like it follows the same themes and stuff. So he was deaf in one ear. I've actually never seen it. I'm familiar with it, and I watch a lot of movies and things. But and then Hawkeye, he's deaf in one ear, and they're both ultimately trying to get back to their families by the end of things. So it's kind of interesting parallel. I thought, if it's true that he's deaf in one ear, so I guess I'll Google it later and decide if we cut this part.
So Kevin Feige did an interview one time, and he said that he is more about finding a genre or a type of movie and then figuring out how they can fit a Marvel character into that. So if you look at the various different projects, even like WandaVision, like how are we going to make a 1950s Marvel show? Boom, there you go. And it made sense. So I think this is kind of their version of a Christmas movie. And in a Christmas movie, any good Christmas movie has a Christmas montage. And so that was kind of their way to, let's get the montage, but also move the story along. And so that's why I didn't mind it, because otherwise I was like, oh, this is very Hallmarky. And then,
Jared, reach.
I'm telling you, that's what it is. That's what it is. This is Marvel's version of a Christmas movie.
I'm reading it as Marvel's version of a whodunit.
Yeah.
That's what I've been seeing it as so far.
Well, who done it then? Who done it?
I think there were a couple of things about the series that I absolutely have loved so far. I loved in episode 3 when they started with the backstory for Maya. That really kind of set up her whole motivation, which if we hadn't seen that would probably be not something that we would care about as much. All right. And then when Maya was introduced, I texted Jared right away. I was just like, that means the Kingpin's coming. And sure enough, there he was. There he was in episode 3. So I was very excited to see that. That was something, seeing the worlds blend is something that when the worlds collide, I become a happy person. So it was great to see that, because I think we all know that that's a very important character in the Marvel universe. You can't have New York without the Kingpin. So,
and that was definitely D'Onofrio's laugh too.
It was, for sure. Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, Kevin Feige drops that stuff about Charlie Cox. So boom.
Yeah. I mean, it's all in the works and it's all happening. We all know that. So that's exciting stuff right there. I mean, as soon as I saw that Echo was going to be one of the characters there, it was the first thing that jumped to my mind was this is just going to blend really well into that Daredevil story. And I'm really excited about where it can go. So yeah.
Awesome.
As long as they recast Iron Fist. Yes, I'm excited.
You legit beat me to saying that. I was literally getting ready to say that. I want to see Finn Jones.
You didn't like Finn Jones just kind of acting like a surfer guy doing weird karate?
He's a fine actor, but he doesn't need to be an action star.
It did kind of have like some little emo, like the vibe of some little emo running around that suddenly knows kung fu, and
it does. It reminded me of Remember the Titans when like Sunshine was doing the like Tai Chi in the yard and all the girls were going crazy. It was like anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, I liked Echo too. I thought I didn't think I was gonna like Echo because Echo is such a D level character.
She's lame in the comics. She's
Yeah,
lame.
but the way
I
they
mean,
brought her in,
mhm.
it was cool. The prosthetic leg, that makes sense too. It wasn't force fed like, look, I'm different. I have a fake leg. It was just, this is just who she is. She can't hear and she has a prosthetic leg and she's gonna kick your butt at the same time. So I really enjoyed that. And it's also, there's been some talk, with the whole Kingpin and the Charlie Cox Daredevil thing, and how everyone was taken aback about this Echo series, that Disney Plus announced. So is it going to remain an Echo series that's coming, or was that just a placeholder for something, maybe a Daredevil show, but they couldn't announce it? I don't know, because I'm super not excited to watch a 6 episodes about Echo. I think she's great in her role, but I don't know that I need 6 to 9 episodes.
Yeah, I could barely make it through that 3rd episode since it was so focused on her to be. I mean, I know she's a cool character and I liked her towards the end, but like after a while, like I like the story, the buildup of her character much more than I actually liked. Suddenly she's just fighting everybody on screen and she can just keep up with all these other, like, the Avengers and everything. Especially in the last episode on the rooftop, who exactly was fighting who? I couldn't tell at some points, like who's beating, like, was Yelena fighting Echo at some point, or was trying to be protective?
I think Yelena was there for Clint. Okay, we know that.
Right?
And,
we know.
And so she was there for Clint, but then everybody else kind of got in the way because they were all there for Clint too. But yeah, I was gonna bring up Yelena, and I'm glad that you did, Darrin, because that's another one I'm still not completely sold on the motivation. I maybe it's just a job and that's what she's looking at it as. If that's the case, then I guess that makes more sense. But the whole revenge factor that they tried to sell us at the end of Black Widow, with Val offering the job to avenge her sister, I'm not really buying that motivation. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't feel that. So anyway, so that's something. I mean, and she had just a 5-minute scene in this movie where she didn't even talk. So maybe that'll resolve itself somehow. But right now, if that's the case, I'm not really buying that motivation as it sits right now.
Yeah. So like and I think to your point, the Black Widow ending, like they did not do a good. It's like they just plopped that little extra scene in there just because they could, and they did not do a very good job selling the motivation, like you said. So hopefully we'll see more of that. And
I totally get the motivation. I feel like it totally, like for me, it makes sense that she misses her sister at the end of Black Widow. Valeria Contessa or whatever her name was showed up and was like, Hawkeye killed her, because she doesn't know the story. It's not. I'm sure the story wasn't. I had to do a life for life to get a stone, and that stuff isn't public knowledge. And so now she's shown up. Is Kingpin also involved in this? We don't know. Is there a Dark Avengers further plot? We don't know.
I mean, I definitely get the motivation. Again, I just don't think they sold it very well at the ending of Black Widow in that extra scene. But
yeah, I think the her motivation, I think, is more clear than Maya's, because didn't they say that the uncle is still alive? So I'm really not sure what Maya's motivation is to hate Ronan so much. Like she hurt her uncle, or he hurt her uncle. Like I don't really understand why she's
didn't she kill his dad?
Yeah,
Ronan killed his dad.
I think.
Oh, killed her dad.
That's the thing. The uncle is still unknown, correct? We haven't been introduced.
But
we haven't been. Is it the Kingpin? I think that's kind of that's been the implication. But I mean, we don't really know that yet, right? And so I think that's it's uncle. It could possibly be the Kingpin, but that was her dad. That was my understanding.
Oh, I thought that was her uncle.
No, her dad got
garage, and then later on she said her uncle was still alive, and I was like, well, what's her okay, so that makes
well, wait a second, hold on, wait, so if it was her uncle, that's not enough motivation? Like
but they said he was alive. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, what's her motivation? But no,
Oh, gotcha.
okay, y'all cleared it up a bit. Maybe I'll have to go back and rewatch something. I think.
We could be totally wrong, Kevin. I have no idea.
No,
No, that y'all's makes a lot more sense than what was going on in my mind. I must have checked my phone for a minute.
And the actor who played Maya's dad, he's great. He's in Westworld. I know that. He's in a few other things. He's a great actor. They've had some great a great cast on this show too. Vera Farmiga, her Kate's mom, is her husband. That's the guy from Breaking Bad, right? Or
Mhm.
yeah, okay. Great cast. They're finding people everywhere, and I think that's really cool.
And speaking of that, I'm really mad at IMDb for listing Frances Pugh as the third actor whenever you log onto the site. So it's just right there that she was going to be in the show from even before the first episode launched. That was very annoying.
Mhm.
so what do we think? Do we think that mom is working for Kingpin, and is the fiance good or bad? And they're trying to lead us to think that he's the one that killed his uncle.
I think it's a red herring. I think it's the mom. She was acting a little weird in that last episode.
Right.
It's a little too obvious. I mean, he is the swordsman, but I think they're just playing that up as a red herring.
Do you think we'll see some more swordsman-like stuff, or will he remain as just the fiance that's good with swords?
I hope we see more swordsman stuff. That would be great.
It would be very typical Marvel to take the well-known actor and about 3/4 the way in, make them do a heel turn. That's what they do with a lot of these well-known actors. It's what they did with Jeff Bridges. It's what they did with Jude Law. It's what they did with Kurt Russell, right? They get these well-known actors. They introduce this lovable, adorable character, and then 3/4 the way through the story, they go ahead and do a heel turn. So it would be very Marvel-like for her to be the one pulling the strings. That's for sure.
What is the deal with the watch? Who do you think that belongs to?
I think it has something to do. I don't think we should read too much into like a new character or anything. I think it has something to do with Steve Rogers when he came back. I just think it was Cap's watch or something when he got back after Endgame or something like that. Because he's technically, we don't know if he's dead or not. Everybody forgets that he's up on the moon. We'll see him. We'll see him in Secret Invasion. But yeah, I think it's his watch. There could be more of an importance behind it, even beyond that we've yet to learn. But that's my theory.
Well, do we really know how Black Widow tracked down when he was the Ronin?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that watch has something to do with how she tracked him down. So
That's what I think. I think it has to do with the identity of the Ronin somehow as well. And the reason is because Barton was so bent on getting that watch. And which Laura, by the way, okay, the way they've introduced her to this series has not been that she was like a spy, and she totally is a spy. I mean, it makes sense, but that's not the way that we've been introduced to her to this point. So she can do all this research and she can speak different languages, and that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I think you're onto something there, Kevin. I think it has something to do with the identity of the Ronin, and it's kind of the linchpin. And I think the cat's out of the bag now, because when Kate found that list that said all the names of his family, the cat's out of the bag that he's the Ronin.
So a lot of theories are that Laura is actually Mockingbird.
I've seen those too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer her to not be Mockingbird.
That's true.
I'm a big fan of Linda Cardellini, so that's fine.
Yeah,
she can do anything. She's
I love
like her
her
a
too.
lot,
I've
yeah.
loved her in every movie that she's ever been in.
Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, to this point, I've enjoyed her just being Hawkeye's wife. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see.
Well, I feel like this is the end of the. I don't know. Is this the end of the line for Hawkeye and his story, or does he go on from here? Where else is Hawkeye going to show up if this isn't his, retire off into the sunset with the kids and Mockingbird?
Yeah.
I mean, as an actor, Tom Cruise is a lot older than him and is still doing a lot of action films. But I think Jeremy Renner's aging out of the MCU.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with
I
that.
do think this is probably going to be a little swan song, and he'll probably make a few appearances here and there in some movies, but
It
I think it's going to be a
feels
passing of the torch.
it feels like they're kind of passing the torch to Kate, which I would not be in favor of. But that's kind of what it feels like to me, is that they're just passing the torch to Kate to kind of take up the name Hawkeye and run with it from here.
Yeah, the first time we get to see Hawkeye finally really in action and a full story around him, it's one about him passing the torch.
Pretty much. I mean, the whole story's been pretty much about her, not him. I mean, his story is important, but her story is more important, and that's kind of a weird. It's kind of a weird thing that they've set up that way, but that's the way it feels.
Well, it's kind of the Black Widow movie too. Was
Mhm.
kind of a passing of the torch also.
Yep.
And Hawkeye-
I'm glad this one's better, but yeah.
Hawkeye, from his first appearance, like, he's always had the short end of the stick. He shows up in Thor for 45 seconds. And if you look down at your phone, like, Kevin did, and missed a huge part of the show, you won't even know that he was there. You're like, oh, there's just some guy with a bow and arrow in Thor. All right, well, he's coming in Avengers. Shows up in Avengers, 5 minutes in, he gets brainwashed the whole movie. Oh, okay. So next he's supposed to be in Winter Soldier. Well, they cut him, and they decided we're just going to have it be Black Widow and Captain America. All right, he's going to come back. He's going to do great things in Age of Ultron. He literally killed Scarlet Witch's brother. Wow.
And he has Jared, in that movie, he has an entire monologue about how his character is stupid too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go fight robots with a bow and arrow because it's my job. I mean,
But here's the thing. It's going to be great because Infinity War, everybody's there. Except for him and
Hawkeye.
Oh, all right. He's going to redeem himself in Endgame, and he gets Natasha killed. Well, then, you know what? We're going to give all the Avengers a movie except for him. He's going straight to TV. And in that TV show, he's passing the torch to a teenager.
Preach it, Jared.
Awesome.
Preach it.
I'm like, I just feel bad for the guy. I feel so bad
Yeah,
for him.
we all do. But a great show.
Can I bring up my one biggest gripe in the show?
Sure.
I feel like, I mean, I've never been to black market auctions, but I feel like a Triceratops head would go for a lot more than $5 million. I mean, it's just me. I feel it was worth a lot more than that. That kind of irked me.
I don't think they'd be meeting in underground caves and to old buildings too. That I don't know.
I feel like there's a T-shirt there with that quote about the Triceratops head. I would totally wear that T-shirt. That's good.
I won't
All
take
right.
it down off TeePublic if you put it up. No.
Yes, you and Disney always filing DMCA whatever against me. Ugh.
By the way, why don't they ever talk about how Hawkeye lost the Ronin suit and his sword? Like, that's kind of careless, right?
No, I think
don't
it was
like him anymore.
when Thanos crashed into the mansion, or the complex.
Oh,
I think it just created such a disaster that things just went missing.
so
that
like a
was
garbage
kind of-
man found it or something, probably.
Yeah, this should really lead into a damage control movie
Yeah.
where they're losing stuff.
Absolutely.
For sure.
We know a watch has been found in the Ronin suit. What else, was in there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Loki's
All right. What's that?
Loki's staff.
Could be the X-Men.
Yeah.
All right, guys, with that, let's do some trivia. All right, it's trivia time. So we're going to play some Marvel trivia here with Kevin versus Tim versus Darren. The first guy to get 15 points wins. We've got some Marvel trivia cards here. And each card, there are 5 questions on each card. Question number 1 is worth 1 point. Question number 5 is worth 5. And that's how difficult they are as well. So each player will get to choose how difficult they want their question. And the first to 15 wins their name thrown in a drawing for an M6P prize pack. Cool?
Yeah, this is like
All
the
right.
first. This is the first Marvel trivia we've done in a long time too. Yeah,
Been a while.
can't wait to lose again. No, no.
Yes.
All
I
right.
can't wait to miss one of the easy ones. I just can't wait. I know it's coming.
And we remember the answer is always X-Force or Hercules.
X-Force. That's right.
Yeah.
Shatterstar is here to make sure that I always say X-Force. Okay.
All right, good deal. All right, and we go alphabetical order, so we'll go Darrin, then Kevin, and Tim. So Darrin, what you got, man?
Let's go 3.
You get 5 seconds to answer 2. All right, so
What?
3. Yeah, because we just can't be taking no like 30 seconds for each question. All right.
Okay.
All right, here's the card. Question number 3. How does Thor get to Asgard?
The Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge. 3 points for Darrin, keeping his own score.
3.
Kevin,
I'll do 3.
3 as well. Which member of the Invaders is the Prince of Atlantis?
Namor the Submariner.
Namor the Submariner for 3 points. Also,
What? Sorry.
in case you're fine. In case this is the first time you're watching, these cards are from 2002. So some questions that might be easy today were hard back then.
I was just gonna say that new time limit's really speeding up the process so far. So
We'll go 1. I'm gonna do the
alright.
tortoise thing.
Who is Thor's father?
Odin. Sorry.
Oh, you about lost your fan
It
card.
was
almost
5
4
seconds, man. It's messing with me. Okay. Come on.
All right, so we got 3, 3, 1. Darrin,
3.
who is Sean Cassidy?
I don't know. Not
Yes.
not 5. I don't know in 5 seconds. I'd probably do. I know. It's gonna drive me nuts. I know. Go ahead. Take your meme now, Kevin.
Actually,
I've answered that right in the past too. But whatever.
that's okay. Darren's gonna study before the next show. Break out those trading cards and just,
I knew that.
All right,
I'll do
Kevin.
3. 3 again.
It's a 5-second roll.
What alien has all the powers of the Fantastic Four?
Super Scroll.
The Super Skrull. And Tim.
I'll go 3 this time.
3. All right. Who was the original Human Torch's partner?
The original Human Torch, not Johnny Storm, right?
That is correct.
Crud.
That's a tough one.
I don't know that one.
Toro.
Toro.
You almost had it.
Yeah, I was this close to never knowing. It's okay.
Well, he'll be appearing in the last episode of Hawkeye. So that'll be exciting.
Oh, there you go.
All right, Darrin.
3.
3. Who was Peter Parker's first love?
Gwen Stacy.
Yes. Redemption has come to your home. All right, Kevin.
I'll keep it up with 3.
Keeping it up. 3. Which of Peter Parker's professors turns into the lizard?
Kurt Connors.
Dr. Kurt Connors, but I will accept that.
Oh, come on. He gets that.
You know those people, like we were watching TV and this lady was a doctor and somebody addressed her by her first name and she said, "It's Dr. Wendy." Like, wow.
It's Dr. Karen.
Right. All right, Tim.
All right. We'll go 3 again.
3. I feel like Tim is a little defeated. You
Yeah.
defeated, Tim.
I was gonna do the tortoise thing, and these guys started doing so well. So
It's a long game, okay?
yeah.
All right. What organization created the Super Adaptoid?
I don't know.
You want to guess an organization in the Marvel Universe?
I really don't, because I mean, I'll say X-Force. Oh, there we go. How about that?
AIM.
Okay.
AIM.
AIM.
That's MODOK's group.
Gotcha.
The yellow beekeeper outfits. All right,
If it's
Darrin.
MODOK, that explains why I don't know it. So there you go.
Didn't you watch the Hulu show?
Oh, come on. I got about 2.5 episodes in and said, no, I'm done.
You made it further than me.
But everyone's
Like
watching
taking a
Hit
bite of-
Monkey, right? Everyone's watching Hit Monkey, right?
Didn't even try it.
I messaged Jared. I was
Hey,
like,
I
"Are you
forgot
watching it?" He's like,
about
"No."
that.
Like, then I'm not watching it.
All right, Darren.
3.
3. What was Thor's first human identity? Very different than the MCU.
Yeah, I know. I missed this one last time too.
No, it's his alias in the very first movie, because it's Jane's ex-boyfriend.
I don't remember that either.
So it's part of the MCU. Yeah.
Dr. Donald
Donald
Blake.
Blake?
Yes.
That's it? Too late?
I don't know. You guys tell me. Did you hear me say it?
I heard Blake, but that was after I'd already started. Just mix it. It's fine. I took more than 5 seconds.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
I want
I
it to
don't
be
think-
fair.
Of all the people we have on the show, I think Tim and Kevin are probably the most chill. They're just like, well, actually, everybody that we have on the show is super chill. We don't have anybody. I think
Yeah.
Darren and I are the most uptight.
Probably hyper too, yeah. But yeah, okay, I'll take the 3. I'm at 9.
Yeah, go for it. I was just thinking, I was like, all right, John Coughlin, super chill. Rick, super chill. Adam Williams, super chill. Like everybody's, Nick, everybody is so chill. We need a couple more spazzes to match Darren and I. All right, Kevin.
Let's go 3 again.
3. Who is Jessica Drew?
Spider-Woman? Spider-Woman. Dr. Spider-Woman, sorry.
It actually says Spider-Man, Spider-Woman #1, but we'll take Spider-Woman.
All right.
So Kevin, do you have 12?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. All right, Tim.
I'm sitting at 1, so I'm gonna go 2.
All right.
Yeah.
What was Puck's first Canadian super team?
Puck's first Canadian super team.
Right.
Alpha Flight? I don't know.
Beta Flight.
Beta Flight? Are you kidding me? I said
Yeah.
Alpha Flight and it was Beta Flight? Oh man.
You're thinking his second Canadian team.
I'm
Why would we go
surprised I
harder?
knew that. I'm surprised I knew that Alpha Flight was a Canadian super team.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm giving myself half a point for that, even though it doesn't count.
all right. You never know. Kevin could fall on his face the next question. We don't know. All right, Darren.
3.
3. How many do you have?
9.
9. All right. 3. Who is Norin Rad?
Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer.
12. Now I have 12.
All right.
McVicker.
All right,
All right.
Kevin.
So 3 for the win, hopefully.
3 for the win. How did Donald Blake transform into Thor?
By hitting his wooden cane on the ground.
That's correct. Woo! Good job, Kevin.
All right, good job.
For he's a jolly good fellow. Okay.
You can't sing that. That's copywritten, and we will be pulled down from YouTube.
Oh, whoops.
Can I give all of my points since Tim still has a turn? Can I give all my points to him? And
No,
then he gets one
I
question
don't
to
still
take,
have a turn. I
to-
don't
to
still have a
take
turn.
down Kevin.
You,
This-
you
All
wanna,
right.
This
You want
was an
one last-
abysmal effort. This was an abysmal effort by
No.
me. I only got to guess X-Force one time. I'm very ashamed of myself.
Jared just didn't tell us about the 5-second rule until we got, recording. Joking.
Kevin was good under pressure. He's just cool,
Yeah.
calm, and collected.
Read too many comic books. That's all.
Well, thank you for joining us on the M6P versus the MCU. Really quickly, feel free to check us out on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. All the fun places, Twitter, just do a search for the M6P. You can also check us out at themarvelousbox.com. We got a great graphic novel subscription service. You can check out Michael Webb Solutions as well if you want some really good SEO stuff done. I know a guy, and it's Michael Webb Solutions, and they're pretty good. So check them out. Also, check out the link in the description below. if you'd like to purchase a superhero shirt to benefit Tim's roommate. And Kevin, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, you follow me on Letterboxd. You can see what movies I'm watching if you want to. There you go.
How do we follow you on Letterboxd?
Just search for my name.
What are we, Optophobic or Kevin McVicker?
Actually, either one will work.
Awesome, awesome. Well, until
Or
next
send us a
time.
link to your profile.
There
Okay.
we go. There we go. We'll also have Kevin's street address and his blood type in the description down below.
Universal
just one-
donor. There you go, people.
We'll have Tim's fundraiser shirts. We'll get that link added too. And M6P Day is coming.
Darren is very excited. We're 6 months out, but we're gonna have some good stuff for you guys. So until next time, make yours the M6P.